What up guys, today I want to talk about why Vegeta died to the planet blowing up in Resurrection of F. Now this might be very obvious and very simple to us Dragon Ball fans, but a lot of people that are either Dragon Ball downplayers or don't really watch Dragon Ball like that keep on using this argument. I keep on seeing this online and it's kind of pissing me off, so I want to make this video just to, just to set the record straight, because I see a lot of people trying to make the Dragon Ball characters sound like they're not even planet level, and I've talked about this before, so it's not something new. Obviously it's been talked about for quite a bit, but it has come back recently, and I never really talked about this fully in depth. I always wanted to, but I just never felt like it, because I was like, you know what, it's pretty obvious, and the people who are saying it are either stupid or just downplayers. So I'm going to go into this video and explain to you guys why, through step by step, why Vegeta died to the planet being blown up in Resurrection of F, and why Goku and Vegeta, the reason why they can't handle planet destroying attacks is not because the attack itself, it's the losing of the planet itself. But a lot of people try to use this. They say stuff like, well, Vegeta died to the explosion, thus he was killed by a planet level explosion, meaning that he's not even planet level. Or some even a little bit smarter try to argue some semantics by saying stuff like, well, technically yes, they can survive planet destroying attacks, but of they use the planet destroying attack and destroys the planet, they die. So technically they're also not planet level, which that isn't what it, that's not the same thing. Yes, technically you could say that they can't survive a planet being destroyed, but it's not the planet being destroyed, or like the power of the planet being destroyed is the lack of a planet or atmosphere. But then again, you could just like say if you shove them in deep space or drown them, they can die. It's just a lack of oxygen, so it doesn't really have anything to do with that, which is dumb. But a lot of people use this to downplay them, saying that they can't even take planet level attacks, which they can. They just can't handle the effect it does of destroying the planet afterwards, which is completely different. But also with the whole, that they also say they're not planet level, which is stupid. Because when a character is planet level, that means they have enough power to destroy a planet. By saying they're not planet level, that means they can't. So that is also not true. But let's get into this, because it was already explained in Resurrection of F, but apparently a lot of people don't pay attention or are too fucking stupid to understand what it means or what happened. But when Frieza did blow up the planet and Vegeta died, all the characters were like, oh no, they're mourning their lost and loved ones, like they all died and stuff, everybody's dead. And I think it was Tien, he's like, I can't believe he took out everybody with him. And I'm going to use both the anime and the movie, because some people might argue there's a difference, which there really isn't. There's just a little bit different wording. But Tien stated that he took everybody out with him as his final plan, and Whis basically states that that is not the case. He says, or Beer states, he says, Frieza isn't dead, and then Whis goes on to explain and says he can survive in the vacuum of space. So there you have it. This was from the anime itself. So in the anime, they explained it was Frieza survived, and it was because he can survive in the vacuum of space. That's why Vegeta and the rest of them died. And then also in the movie, once again, Whis says, oh no, Frieza is likely not dead. And Beers goes on to say, he can survive in the vacuum of space. That's smart thinking. So once again, mentioning that he can survive in the vacuum of space. And there's more information too. I just want to finish going through all my points. Then I'll go back to explaining and talking about, the evidence and proof I have. But we also see this all the way back in the Namek saga, when Frieza was against Goku, and Frieza also tried to destroy planet Namek. He did hold back this time, but there was quite a bit of talks. He says right here, I can continue to live even in the vacuum of space. So Frieza is not stating that, oh, if I destroy this planet, the planet's explosion is going to kill you, even though this version of Goku is far weaker than the version of Vegeta we see in Resurrection of F. Sorry for that car. But he, even in this point where he's way weaker, he does not mention the planet exploding, killing him. It was the fact that he can live in the vacuum of space, which there's some arguments some people have there, but it's kind of stupid, that one. I'll get to why that's dumb. And then also later on, King Kai even says, like they're talking about, well, oh wait, it's fine if the planet blew up and Goku died on the planet, we can just revive him with the Dragon Balls. But King Kai tells him, no, that's not how it works. When you revive them with the Dragon Balls, they're going to be revived in the same place that they died, and since Namek is gone, they're going to be in outer space. So he says there's just a vacuum of space. and he stated that the moment they return to life, death awaits them again. So clearly, it was not the explosion, because he said when they get back, even without a planet being there, death awaits them again. So clearly, the planet exploding doesn't matter. Obviously, the effect of the planet getting destroyed and it blowing up does matter, but the power of the planet blowing up itself isn't what kills them. So yeah, I see a lot of people arguing this, and some people might use the argument that we know that we're not saying that, but then we're saying that they're not planet level because they technically can't survive a planet level destruction, which is just arguing semantics. But let's go to that. That 100% proves it. So for any of you dumbasses out there that keep on trying to use it, the explosion killed him, he died instantly, the explosion killed him, the explosion killed him. Weiss and Beers literally stated both in the anime and in the movie that it was due to the fact that he can survive in the vacuum of space. Now, some people might say, well, that doesn't mean that Vegeta died because of lack of oxygen. But then it's like, well, what other meaning is there? Obviously, they're not directly just saying the lack of oxygen, but it is obviously stated and implied. If you have any form of cognitive thinking, you can understand that when they say that, they're basically saying is that Frieza doesn't need to breathe. He can survive in the vacuum of space, whereas Goku and Vegeta do need to breathe. That's why when Goku was fighting against Frieza and Namek, he was drowning Goku, and Goku almost died. Also, when Goku was fighting Beerus, he was drowning him in the anime, and he almost, died. So clearly, they need to breathe, which most characters do. Most fictional characters, because most fictional characters have like either a human or have human-like, anatomy, which we need to breathe. But Frieza, his species doesn't have human-like anatomy. He can survive with most of his body cut off and still move around, and he can also survive in the vacuum of space without any oxygen itself. So there you have it. So if any of you guys keep on arguing, here's my evidence, here's the proof. It's literally stated both in the anime and in the movie that it was due to the vacuum of space. They never stated that he could survive the planet's explosion, or he was strong enough to survive the planet's explosion, which wouldn't make any sense since Frieza diverted back to his regular form, or his final form. He diverted back to that, which was way weaker than Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, but Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta died instantly and not him. Though I will agree with the fact that he died too quick. I stated this also before years ago when I first had my channel came out. I mentioned that early on. I said, this is going to be a problem because a lot of people who want to downplay Dragon Ball are going to use this in their arguments, saying stupid stuff like, well, he died instantly, so that, if it was just the lack of oxygen, how come he couldn't survive, for a bit? Which I kind of do agree, because even as humans, if you're trapped in the, outer space, it would take at least a minute for you to die. And since the Saiyans have a bigger lung capacity or whatever, they should be able to survive it a little bit longer, at least around 5 minutes. But he died pretty instantly, which I think is kind of dumb. It's maybe just because Toriyama doesn't know how long it would take for somebody to die. He probably assumes because most people get their knowledge on science through movies and shows, so he probably saw a lot of movies and shows where people died instantly when they're out of space, so he probably thinks that, if somebody's left out in outer space, they'll die instantly, which isn't true. So he probably just, with his lack of understanding of science, assumed that if you are just in deep space without any oxygen, instantly you die, which we know that it takes time to die even with lack of oxygen, even on Earth. So I just think that's dumb. Or you could use the argument that since the planet exploding didn't really hurt him, but it did knock the wind out of him because it was, it caught him off guard. It knocked the wind out of him, thus pushing the air out so he couldn't, hold on to it, and he died quicker. That could also be a viable argument, but I've stated before that was dumb. But even with that being said, it's literally stated it was the vacuum. Even in the Frieza saga, it was stated by Frieza when he was fighting against Super Saiyan Goku, who was way weaker. He could have simply said, the planet exploding would kill you, but it can't kill me. He could have just simply said that, but he said that can you survive in a vacuum? And even when the planet was gone, there's no planet level threat. Now King Kai himself stated that he's just going to come back in the vacuum of space and die. So clearly 100% it has nothing to do with the planet, the power at least from the planet exploding, just the cause of the planet not being there. Kind of like destroying the moon itself won't kill somebody, but the effects of the moon being destroyed will cause a lot of catastrophic events that can kill a lot of people. So that's completely two different things, So it's just a ridiculous argument to make. And then the semantics of, well, he's not planet level, or he can't survive a planet destroying attack because if the planet is gone, then he dies. But it's like, once again, that's semantics. That's to lower their power levels. That does not change the fact that they don't have the power to destroy a planet. Because saying they're not planet level is stupid. That's completely wrong. If you listen to what that means, planet level means that they have the ability to destroy a planet. It doesn't matter what the effects are after if they can survive that. That does not mean that they're not planet level. Planet level durability means if they're hit with a planet level attack, could they survive it? Yes, he can. Just because the planet, if it ends up getting destroyed, does not mean that the attack itself is it killed him, or they can't fire an attack on that level. They just don't, because they don't want to destroy the planet. And also on top of that whole thing about the planet getting destroyed and stuff like that, most of the fights when you have, because they're using this in arguments for like these versus battles where like, oh, if he's a versus this character, he can destroy a planet, he'll destroy the planet, he'll die. But it's like most characters, comic book characters, villains and heroes, they don't tend to blow up the planet even if they have the ability to. They just usually use that planet destroying power against that person. So we've seen countless characters that have planet level destroying power, but they don't destroy the planet because in those fights, the main focus is supposed to be attacking them. So even if they do have it, they're not going to destroy the planet, they're going to attack them, especially if they're going to get against a hero character, they're not going to destroy the planet. Also, I don't like this argument that people use with Goku whenever he's against like somebody with the weird hacks. Somebody's like, Goku can just blow up the planet and this and that. I'm like, no, first of all, he won't do that, that's some pussy shit. Second of all, he's a hero, why would he do that? Third of all, if he does it, he does die, unless he can lock onto another, key signature on another planet, teleport there, but it's going to be hard to destroy the planet and then lock on a key signature and get there. Remember Kid Boo's situation, he couldn't do that, so no, he can't do that because of, the timing, and also on top of it is just, something Goku wouldn't do, that's some pussy shit. If Goku can't win, he's going to accept a loss. He would rather lose fairly than win in a bullshit manner, so I hate that. Don't ever use that on my videos. If you can't argue that Goku can win through his own means of power, then just admit he will lose. Personally, I think a lot of people that use those arguments, the simplest way to combat the arguments about the hacks ability is that Dragon Ball characters, hacks abilities don't work on them unless the character is around their power or more powerful or just a little bit weaker. So you could use that, that's the best way to use it. But the whole planet level thing, like I said, for those who are saying the planet destroying, no is the vacuum of space, and of any idiot saying, well, what does that mean? Clearly it means the lack of oxygen, stupid. We've seen Goku drown and stuff like that, and what other stuff? Are you telling me the gamma radiation or the waves of like outer space is going to kill him when they take attacks which are way more powerful and deadly? Come on, we know that. And for the people arguing the semantics, the planet level stuff like that, it's like, you stop with that shit. You're just trying to lower the power, because the same people that argue that will like the comments of people saying that he died to the planet's explosion, specifically the explosion, not the the planet being gone. They will like that, but then they will say, "Oh, I'm not saying that they can't take planet level attacks. I'm just saying that if you destroy the planet, they die." No, you agree with that. You just don't want to say it because you want to lower them, but you want to sound at least like you're fair and not biased. And even once again, that does not mean that they can't survive. A planet destroying attack or can't fire a planet destroying attack. It's just that if the planet ends up getting destroyed, then they will die. I agree with that. Also, most of the characters, like I said, it wouldn't work in a versus battle anyway, because most of these characters that fight don't really destroy the planets, even if they can. Usually they hold back, or if they do fire a planet destroying attack, they're able to minimize the area of effect. So yes, it has the potency to destroy planets and stars and stuff, but it's in such a small confined area in space that it doesn't destroy everything with it. So yeah, I just thought of making this little video for you guys because, like I said, I've been seeing this quite a bit online and it's kind of pissing me off, and I feel like a lot of people try to act stupid or try to use this as an argument. So if anybody tries to use that as an argument that Vegeta died to the planet's explosion, no, he died to the vacuum of space. And Goku himself, even without a planet, there's no threat of the planet exploding. Even without the threat of the planet exploding, no planet there would kill him. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.